Hey everybody, what's happening? It is Thursday night, about 9 o'clock, and yeah, I just watched a while ago, I watched the Brewers win in extra innings, game one. They tried to give it away in the ninth. I really felt this sort of sense of fear coming over them. They haven't really done much. They've never won a World Series, and they're kind of, getting into that, what you call it, the curse the cursed zone. It's been a long time. I was at 1982 World Series, and the Brewers played the Cardinals. We should have won that series, but they didn't, and they haven't won one yet. So it was a little stressful watching that game. They were up 2-0 going in the ninth, and they gave up 2 runs and got out of it lucky, actually, and then came back and won in the 10th. So that was nice. Um, and regards to Louisville. I just now posted a video with one of our athletes, Ross Kappenberger, and on the podcast we talk a lot about finding your why and remembering your why when you race, and it's all not all about the numbers and times and all this other stuff. And to have a successful race, you really need to have a reason to keep doing this stuff. And not many have a better reason than Ross. And we interviewed him on podcast, I think number 45, and his story sort of blew us away. It was very emotional. He's become a good friend of the podcast and us, and we've met and raced with him many times now. He's come to camp, stayed at my house, uh, and frankly, you know, that's my why. You know, it's uh, it's meeting people like Ross, and there's so many people I can't start listing them, but that we've met through camps and at races, and the stuff Robbie and I have been through all over the years. And to start a podcast a couple of years ago was just something we tried, and it's uh, it's turned into something really amazing. And we honestly came from a pure position of, yeah, we'd love to do this full time and make this we love triathlon. We love, Robbie and I, the podcasts we have are basically the same conversations that we would just have, you know, and that's the stuff we like talking about. So we decided, well, let's just put on a podcast and see where it goes. And it's really turned out, better than we can imagine. But it's just so amazing to be able to do something you love and pour your heart into it. I started writing about uh, triathlon when I started in 2012, and I was blogging for years, and I was going to all these races. I would it was pretty much the circuit of Wisconsin, Louisville, and Chattanooga. And if I raced one, my brother would bring a camera and he would videotape. And if I wasn't racing, I would just travel to these races and start videotaping and putting together these tribute videos. And honestly, it was just something I loved doing. There was zero for I don't know, 3-4 years there was nothing. It was just I was making these videos, I was blogging, I was writing all the time, and I was sort of trying to build this Crushing Iron website blog thing. And it was just honestly, it was just like my favorite thing to do. Um, and I figured out a way to do it and everything like that. And then finally, Robbie and I sort of reconnected on like getting something going. Robbie had contributed a lot to the blog in the past, and we, it's just like everything. You kind of don't see it, and but we knew that we were both really passionate about it. So um, we decided to, give it a shot, and really it obviously connected with people, and that's been the cool part, is that it are we, blowing up the podcast world? No, but not even close. But we're I guess we're just so grateful because it really has attracted the right kind of people, and just people that really care about other people and stuff like that. It's not that kind of, you know, look at me sort of podcast. And we decided from the get-go that we were going to just shout out information, that everything we knew, there was going to be like complete transparency about all this stuff, and we were just going to, just discuss and talk about everything we know and give it away. And then, when you give it away, it comes back to you. And that's really what's happened. And I'm just so thankful. When I do things like these videos with Ross tonight, I'm just so grateful to have meet people like him. And like I said, many, many other people that, I'll be doing a few more of these types of stories from Chattanooga. I'm racing Louisville. I don't know what the situation will be like up there, but I wouldn't mind doing some more interviews because we've just got so many people that are really cool. We've got over 100 athletes we're coaching now, and it's just endless with good stories and things like that. So, we run into, it's not often, but every once in a while we run into some shit on, with people saying stuff or whatever, like a comment here or there. And I still, while it doesn't bother me nearly as much because I know that people are, have gotten something from what we've been doing, and people are, I think, grateful too the other way that we keep doing it. We've basically, we've done 200 some podcasts and we haven't missed one. And we just keep going, and it's not like, we're making any money off the podcast directly. It's like I said, it's just something we love to do. So I'm just grateful to be there. But anyway, I am on my road to Louisville, and today was a sort of a one last short. Let's see if your legs have any explosion in them. So I did that. It was like a 10 or 12 intervals of 1 minute of like all out kind of thing, zone 4. And I went after it. It felt pretty good, but I was a little tired afterwards. My legs are a little tired today after running and everything. And tomorrow I got another little run. I'm going to make sure to really go slow on that. And then a 2-hour ride on, Sunday, and I got to swim on. I'm going to try and get a lake somewhere and get in a wetsuit on Saturday and just feel it. The one thing about my bike, I had this like weird, like thing happening randomly, and I haven't been able to figure it out. It's getting worse. So I think it's something to do with my hub or something. I've got it over at my neighbor's. He's kind of a crafty gentleman, so hopefully he can figure it out and get me straight by the morning. I think that's fine, but you know how it is when you have a bike noise. It just drives you crazy. And I don't know if it's because I don't know if I hadn't been hearing it because I ride with headphones sometimes out at the lab. But I don't know how long it's been going on, but it's definitely annoying. So we got that going for us. The Brewers are doing good, 1-0. What else is going on? That's about it, really. I just, I just want to say pretty grateful for what's going on. I'm excited about racing. I am, you watch stories like Ross's, and you can kind of take the like selfishness out of your game and realize that, an Ironman's not the end of the world. It's just a race. It's just something that you try to do your best at, and, when you finish, that's a hell of an accomplishment, regardless. I mean, it's like, think about that, man. When I was back thinking about signing up for my first Ironman, it was like the furthest imaginable thing from my mind. And now all of a sudden I'm closing in on doing my 6th. And, that's the thing too, is like the more you do, it's not like it necessarily gets easier. You got to kind of have to, almost sharpen your why a little bit, because, you've done it, and you got this whole thing colliding with, man, that's, the effort and the workload that goes into it, but then you also know that you kind of want to do better, so you got to work harder. And then, so like, what's really driving you? Because anything can happen, and you can't put your stakes in that one day. You just can't. You can't put like your whole mood and your whole mindset and everything in your life into that bucket, because it'll just totally bring you down. It'll destroy you if you're too focused on hitting a number, or certain things. You just have to let it kind of happen, and do the best you can. And like we talked about on the podcast today, is be smart, stay within yourself, those kinds of things. you know the idea of, like, I've had it in the past where I've kind of undertrained, but I felt pretty sharp in some ways, and felt like I had enough, like, sort of top end to kind of make it happen if everything went right on that day. And that just hasn't happened. I think that's, possible, but not the way I did it, for one. And B, it's a long shot to expect more out of your body and mind than you've actually trained for. If you haven't gotten to that, expose yourself to certain things, and to expect them to happen on race day is kind of a, delusional in a way. And so I'm a little bit there in the same spot this year, but I'm also definitely more trained up than I was last year. So we shall see. Looks like a little weight is coming off, mate. How's the energy level? How do you maintain energy? Little weight's coming off, huh? Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know if I'm losing weight. I definitely have weighed myself a few times, and I feel like I'm always between 183 and 185, or 186. And then when I get out of the pool, I'm back to 183. And it's a lot of times water weight. So I'm going to be right around 180 to 185 for this race for sure. The camera angle is probably the thing. But I definitely feel like, you know how it goes when I feel like I might be putting on muscle weight and reshaping a little bit. But yeah, I'm going through some changes for sure. I don't like, I'm still having that, like, a little bit of around the waistline problem, which, as you get older, that's tougher to nail down. And plus, like, you just get so hungry, and you're always fueling with carbs and things like that. And I don't know the complete answer to diet or anything like that, but I do know that regardless of what's going on there, I definitely feel like I'm stronger underneath all that. So I think my core feels stronger. I may not look like a shredded beast, but I feel pretty strong. And, sometimes that's not a bad thing to have going into a long day like Ironman. I mean, really, you need some fat stores, right? You need to burn that fat out there on the course. It could come in handy. That's kind of why I'm using it. But I appreciate that, man. I'm definitely not putting on weight. I'll tell you that much. And I definitely feel tighter than I did about 4 months ago. So just my energy. I've been, honestly, I'll take a nap here and there. I've been sleeping pretty good. I've been trying to eat a little bit better. I just drink a lot of water, and I do some smoothies. And man, about 2 weeks ago, I was really in this chip phase where I was eating a lot of potato chips because it was hot out, and I was doing long rides and real salty and whatnot. And it just felt good for me, but I felt like it was maybe not the right solution. But honestly, I don't have a lot of energy. I feel like my blood moves thick. I get up slowly. I don't know what that's all about, but That's why I'm so also big into warming up, because if I start too fast, it's like my body just can't keep up. So I'll be jumping in that Ohio River. Wes, are you watching by any chance? I saw you were just on Facebook. Anybody from Louisville that knows the river? Okay. I'm still trying to get a beat on that first section. But yeah, I think about the swim a lot, actually. How I'm going to handle it, how I'm going to execute it. Go slow. Long and steady. Way to go. I hear you, buddy. Yeah. It's tough. But anyway, check out the podcast today if you haven't. It's we had a good time. A lot of good stuff on there, as always, from Coach Robbie. Crushing Iron Podcast, crushingiron.com. Road to Louisville. We got 10 days left. That's 10. That's not that many compared to 100. So hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody feels great. Thanks for stopping in, mate. Love seeing you. Hope things are good over there. It's morning, I take it. Anyway, I got to get going. I'm going to try and get some sleep, and I'm not going to go to sleep yet. Who am I kidding? But take care of a few things and maybe do a little reading. I will call you. I'll call you later. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow on day 9. The single digits have arrived. See ya.